Solutions. The unforgiving African sun shone down early on proceedings at the start of the first day's racing proper in the 27th edition of the Toyota Kalahari Botswana 1000 Desert Race. Ahead, there was 480 tough kilometers of uncompromising racing through dense bush and the dry sub-Saharan desert with clouds of dust which never really settles down. Navigators were hard at work getting the race notes down, sorted and systemized in their own methods to ensure the quickest passage possible in the clearest communication with their drivers. In the prologue, there were one or two big surprises.
It came such a big surprise to me as it came to you. So, well, we started yesterday with a mission. We thought we just want to have a good prologue to see how far up front we can start, and it worked very well for us. We're starting first. It's the first time for me, so it's first time for my dad also. So he's got a hard job for today, but hopefully it will work for us, and we'll just try to keep our position. There's a couple of quick sand markers that when I'm going to pass, they can pass, but we'll try to stay in front of the production.
For Variawa and Rousseau in second place, it was a no-frills prologue despite some loose sand.
We had a clean run and no problems. Very nice terrain, very sandy, very thick sand. But we had a nice run, yeah, no problems.
And a battle plan for today?
Well, we're starting in front of the specials, second overall this morning. And we're just going to keep it clean and run our own pace today.
For the old war horses, there was just one strategy: keep it together.
Starting 24th. Mick got into it very quickly. I mean, it's the first time he's ever navigated, but we had some fun yesterday, and I'm pleased there's a bit of wind this morning, so hopefully the dust won't be too bad.
What's the battle plan for today?
No, just to get back here, the car on one good sound pace. Obviously, some pace, and keep the car together, and tomorrow go for it again.
The father and son combination, Jan and Hendrik Kraai in the Regent Racing Bat, were just trying to keep things cool.
We're leading Class B. That's the 2000cc engine cars. We're leading the championship and we won the time trial, so we want to just keep it cool and see if we can keep it there for the day.
And so far, 3 races, 3 victories. That's a great record in 07.
Yeah, we're holding thumbs, eh? We hope we are blessed again that we can do another one.
And with that, it was off. The De Bruins were all first courtesy of their win in the prologue, but they only had 7 seconds grace before Variawa and Rousseau hit the road behind them. And Grobler and Jordan were 2 seconds in arrears, with Berthold and Costaindes 4 further adrift. It was a dust bowl at the start as the first cars were set off in quick succession and the racing got underway. Up front, it was the McLaren XL dealer Toyota Hilux of the father and son Hichu and Jaap de Bruin who pulled away ever so slightly, with Variawa and Rousseau still eating their dust. Visibility wasn't great, but no one told Hannes Grobler that. The 3-time champ was on his customary charge early on, with Jordan in good voice.
Starten, ja. We maken. Dat is zo. Zesdag rijden hier zo. We moeten 60 rijden hier zo. Maar we vangen hier wat. Maar ja, dat is toch wat.
It seems the traffic cops are everywhere. Gary Berthold and Henry Costaindes were also placed well enough not to have too much dust, but would have liked even less. While Colin Matthews and Alan Smith had picked up the pace considerably, and the surprise package of the prologue picked up where they'd left off the day before. The Harpers were steady as she goes and were clearly trying to save the Atlas Copco early on. And the motorized crew wanted Alfie Cox and his co-Henny Terstega to let it all hang out. But after the top 10 had come through, the dust was badly churned up. In fact, the worst of the season, and it affected pace. Grenier and Birken going smoothly. In fact, some spectators were taking chances with their proximity to the route. Schroeder and Huxtable almost missing the right-hander. while Mosaji and Barhanya's miss was almost complete. Chris Visser and Jaapie Badenhorst in their Castle Toyota were still inside the top 15 and going very well early on. But the Botswana racing faithful loved it. As for Bevan Bertolt and Robin Houghton, they favoured the casual approach early on day one. Duncan Foss and stand-in co Richard Leek streaking by, looking for a second win in a row after Foss's triumph at Sun City 5 weeks ago. The De Brains were putting together a very solid run and were keeping the Wolves at bay, at least for the moment. But surprise, surprise, the man who's won twice already this season, Hannes Krobler, was back in the frame quickly. He and Jordan had moved past Variawa and Rousseau into second. And more cream rose to the top. Make that flew to the top when Cox and Testerge came from 8th to 3rd, quickly. Cronje and Birken's slowly approach also started paying off. And yet another Toyota team, this time Chris Visser and Jaapie Badenhorst at his side, made themselves comfortable in the top 5. The Harpers had slipped down the order somewhat, but Nick is a cagey racer and was trying to save the car for the long haul on day 2. Foss and Leek seemed to have found each other and were putting all those years of experience to very good use. But large parts of the route were difficult to pass on and tempers boiled and flared at times. Mark Corbett telling Kobus van Tonde exactly what he thinks of him.
Move over here, you got...
Very subtle. Karl Heinz and son Quinton Silwald were having the drive of their lives, and from 15th overall, they were already up into the top 10. Tollefson and Quinn were doing something similar and were going steadily and making their way up the standings. With Brandon Harkis and his co-driver Jean Moore in their Ford Ranger also up from 17th, but battling in the dust. However, the biggest surge had come from Colin Matthews and Alan Smith, who'd gone past Variawa and taken the lead. But the Total Motorsport team was still going well despite a puncture, which cost them some time. However, the drive of the first part of day 1 went to Herman Silwalt and Paul Helberg, who was superb over the rough stuff. Bertolt and Costain were next, literally flying along.